It's like specifics. Oh my god. It's like pulling teeth. You guys are thinking about it. Or like,
I know where I go.
All right, just came back home from Nijia Market. It is 8:59 p.m. This is $59 worth of food. Oh boy. So, coffee bread, useful on Sunday. This is what I'll have for dinner today. Katsu bento rice. Okay, meats. We got beef cubes as well as salmon. This is what I'll eat tonight as well. Cabbage salad, chopsticks. Got the tofu. I got the mixed egg and tuna sandwich, useful for tomorrow. I got gailang, which is nice. I got fried squid karaage, also for tonight. Very important, star of the show. This is lemon tea, obviously. Love that shit. This is melon mochi, and then finally we got 3 garlic, and that's it for Nijia Market. So time now is 9:11. This is my dinner. I was gonna buy sushi because both tomorrow and the day after I'm not gonna have time to go to the supermarket at all. But there's no sushi. By the time I went to Nijia Market, it was like 8 p.m. A lot of the sushi are taken. There's fatty tuna sushi, but they're extremely fucking expensive. They're like $14 per box. So I went with katsudon rice instead, karaage fried squid, and cabbage salad with sweet and sour sauce. So that's pretty much it. Alright, time now is 10:16 p.m. Ooh, let's talk about what happened today. Another very interesting, dense day. Man, this week has just been one interesting day after another, after another, after another, after another, just back to back to back. It's just it's truly amazing. What a great time to be alive. I have more acne. One here, one here. Hopefully they're not like big acne. But man, my face is absolutely fucked. I don't know if this is the cumin effect. I'm gonna wait for another week and see if it gets better. If it doesn't, then it's probably something else other than the cumin. But my cumin theory still stands. Alright, let's talk about today. I immediately did some push-ups and sit-ups on my bed, but it wasn't enough to make me feel tired, just some push-ups and sit-ups. As I realized that even though I look buffer than how I was back in 2019, I am still a long way to go. I still have a long way to go. But yeah, I did my movie review. I filmed my movie roundup video, and then I proceeded to have a 2-hour long Discord call with Nick. And while I was calling him, I cooked food and I cooked potatoes, and some of my potatoes had turned green last time I checked it, and today when I checked it, even more potatoes have turned green. It's really weird. So I didn't use the green ones. And then I found out that I still have bacon, so I made myself 2 slices of bacon. Like fried myself 2 slices of bacon, and that's it. That's my lunch with some ketchup. And then at around 4:30, I left. I took a bus to the main campus, and this is where the fun truly begins. So the ice cream in-person meetup today begins at 5:15, but at around 4:50, people were already gathering in that room, and that's partially because most of the people in that room are actually people from the Friday Film 32 class, and unsurprisingly, the professor for Film 32, the Italian professor, he was in the room as well. Saw him and I said hi. And so I gathered around, and there are a lot of familiar faces. Betsy is here. I just saw her yesterday for lunch. She's here. Theo is here. I just saw him yesterday for lunch. He's here. And then there are some familiar faces, but only because I saw them in Zoom, like the Middle Eastern girl And then a little bit later, the girl whom I said was maybe Vietnamese American, turns out she is half Korean, half Japanese. Her family name is really weird, and I thought it would be either Korean or Vietnamese, but I guess I just went with Vietnamese because I don't know, it's just a very unlikely Korean name, but she is Korean apparently. Half Korean, half Japanese. American girl, really. So that's cleared. I will no longer call her the Vietnamese girl or Vietnamese American. I'll call her the half Korean, half Japanese. But I think most important of all, Aoba came. Yes, so I saw Aoba yesterday. She showed up today again, which is awesome. It's just insane, just how many familiar faces are popping up. Red showed up, the boy who's like super active. Turns out he is the president of acting club. I didn't know that, but he's here. So, and he's also in Film 32 as well. So we're all like together, I guess, the big people, And there are also a lot of familiar faces. There's a black girl who's in my film history class, and I said hi to her as well, and I met a couple of new people, and I got one Instagram. But yeah, Kat showed up with a whole plastic box of ice cream, and it wasn't like a small scoop, it was big cups of ice cream, which is crazy, and even with another box of water. I'm really thankful that she pulled this off. It was partially my idea. This in-person meeting was partially my idea. Actually, it was my idea to begin with. I was like, man, we need to do an in-person meeting. But it sort of snowballed into an ice cream meetup because Kat also runs an ice cream store. And then it sort of snowballed into a, film club. Aside from Mateusz, the Polish guy, pretty much all the film club's leadership is here. And then the acting club is here. Just snowballed into something like this. Again, Aoba showed up, which is awesome. I don't know why he's here, but she's here. Okay, but I didn't recognize her at first because she had red hair. So yesterday when I saw her, she still had blonde hair with a pinch of blue and green, and she had decided on a new color, which is very interesting. Like she has cycles now. Like she goes through different like cycles now. Like I wonder what her next color is. But yeah, she has red hair now, and she did this earlier today, so you can literally see red dye at the side of her face and on her mask. But yeah, that's that. So I said hi to her, and she's really nice to me. And about Pepper, she didn't come, so her shift at the well ends at 4:30, 5:30, but she didn't leave until like 6 p.m. And then by then she's already super tired. And I told her, if you're too tired, you don't have to come, And she's like, okay, I'm not coming. So there's that. But this actually gives me a great opportunity to speak privately with Aoba. Not really privately, but it's just, Aoba's really nice to me. And she just sat next to me and Thomas. Thomas is there, obviously. And Aoba's a lot more extroverted suddenly because she started speaking to like a couple white dudes and then another Latino guy, and they were just chatting, and Aoba's taking out her phone and exchanging IGs. Like, wow, oh my god. So in the first week of Film 32, Aoba actively asked me for Instagram. That's something I'm very proud of, but that's also not a very uncommon occurrence, as she's actively asking for Instagram as well. She just didn't. I guess her IG policy is like, if she hadn't spoken to that person a lot, then she wouldn't get their Instagram because she has to speak to that person a little while first and then take out her phone. Like she does this. But yeah, I wouldn't randomly ask people for Instagram unless I allow them to, So if it's someone that I've only had one conversation with, I wouldn't. 2 conversations and 2 nice conversations, then yes. Maybe, So I'm a little stricter. But yeah, there's that. But yeah, everyone got our stuff. I ordered an Oreo cream cotton candy double scoop, but that never came to me. my ice cream scoop was vanilla, but I didn't really complain. So I finished the whole thing, and man, it's so sweet. Earlier today, I ate a whole slice of red velvet cake, and today I ate a whole gigantic scoop of vanilla ice cream. It's, oh my god. It's very sweet. It's a lot of sweetness in one day. But it's fine. I honestly wasn't even in an ice cream mood, but for the sake of socializing, sure, why not? The sacrifices we make. But yeah, here goes my conversation with Alba, which is really nice. I guess she's a lot more active than I thought, because when I have conversation with people, sometimes I'm scared that I'm the one talking, I'm the one going blah blah blah, but Alba was asking me stuff, like, Alba randomly asked me, so, no, I asked Alba first, like, how's your short film going? And Alba said, oh, she's filming next week at the exact same time on Friday. And she asked me, and I said, oh, I can be your extra. And she's like, yeah, great. And I just realized that I can't because next week there's a script writing club meeting. But apparently Alba will also be filming on Saturday, I guess. So maybe that will somehow work out. But I don't know. I can DM her and ask her the details, honestly. At this rate, why not? And then I showed her my letterbox because, of course. But the more important thing is I want to show her that anyone can add anything on Letterbox. So I said you can add yours too. And then she asked me if I have a YouTube channel. So obviously I didn't show her my Culture Detective channel, but I showed her my Enoch Lai channel, which is my official one. And then I asked her if she has one, and she's like, oh yeah, you can search me, but you probably can't find me. And I immediately found her. Probably because I've seen it already before. It's literally in her Instagram bio. But but there's that. And then yeah, and then we talked a little more. I asked her if she's used to like being called a first name. And she's like, yeah, it's all right. And I asked her, is it true that, of course it's true, but I asked her, like in Japan, they call each other by family names, right? And she's like, yeah, but it's more usual to call each other by their first names here. And I'm fine with that because by calling people their last names, you're distancing yourself from them. So Antoine, the Lebanese guy, the king of the clubs in my college, he called Alba by her last name and then son. And then when I heard how Alba said it to me, I also got cringed a little bit. Like, if I don't know, it's just forcing one's own culture down their throats. It's almost like, and it's almost like, yeah, it's a little cringe, damn, And then she actively asked me, like, how about you? How does it work in China or Hong Kong? I guess she isn't as politically sensitive, which is fine. And I said, I didn't really know how to explain. We don't really call each other by names, really. Like, we don't even say people names. We have Chinese names, English names, we have nicknames. There are just too many names. So I didn't really know how to explain. And I guess she was also a little confused. And then I asked her, there's a Latino guy, and I got his IG, and then he asked us about what we're trying to do, like career path, and I said director, writer. And then I asked Alba, and she's like, oh yeah, director too. And Alba asked me why I came to LA. She said, I know this seems like a silly question, but why did you come here? And I said, oh, I just I love movies. Ever since I was in secondary school, I already planned to come to USA because I love making movies. And then I asked her, and I said, and she's a little confused on my question, but I said, well, in Hong Kong, many people want to be lawyers and doctors and engineers, but film is a really rare, major. And she said, oh, it's partially because of my mom. Like, her mom makes her watch a lot of movies. And then I asked her, I don't know, I asked her something like, what got you into movies? But she didn't really quite pick up what I asked, so she asked me if I'm asking her what are the sort of movies she wants to make when she grows up, which is also a cool question to ask. And she said, "Oh, I like fantasy," and then she said she likes Harry Potter, Ready Player One, and Avatar. And she said she wants to, yeah, she said she wants to work in Hollywood, so she has to be in Hollywood in order to work at Hollywood. And then I asked her what's her favorite Harry Potter movie, and she said the first one. Wow, interesting. And then I said the third one. Obviously, all the cinephiles say number 3. And she said she likes the happier side. She likes the magic, but she likes the happier, more fun side of magic, which is a little bit surprising, just a tad bit. She said she likes happy things, and she doesn't like things that are too scary. She even mentioned the ending to Harry Potter 3 when, you know, David Thewlis turned into a werewolf and like Snape turned into a werewolf. And I talked about how, you know, the Dementor entering the train, that was really scary. And I told her that, oh, you know, I used to be very scared of horror movies, but now I'm getting back into it again and I really like it. And I said for this Halloween I'll watch Ring. And she's like, "What? Ring?" And I'm like, "Oh, Ring, the Japanese horror film." And she asked me if it's the one where the black-haired girl like climbs out of the TV, and I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, you need to tell me your experience." And then again, the Latino joins back the conversation, and she asked us if we miss our homes, and Aoba said she misses sushi. She doesn't miss home all that much, but she sometimes wants to go back to Japan because she misses the Japanese food. Because even though there are so many Japanese restaurants in West LA, none of them are authentic enough for her, and she said she misses the sushi in Japan. And when she said sushi, like the Latino didn't understand, and I didn't really catch it at first. And I'm like, "Oh, sushi, you know, sushi." I like how like if it's a Japanese term, then she will say it in a Japanese way, like because it's her own culture, and she's not gonna say it in an American way, you know. Which is obviously duh. I mean, I would do that too. I do that if it's not like a Cantonese word as well. Yeah. And then I asked her if she's tried Panda Express, and she's like, "Oh yeah." And I said, I laughed, and she said she doesn't really know what's authentic Chinese food, and I said the first thing I miss is soup. And that's pretty much our conversation, and then she had to leave. Thomas had to ask for more help for his short film on Saturday and Sunday, tomorrow and the day after. And Thomas asked Alba for help, Thomas asked the Latino for help, Thomas asked Betsy, Thomas asked everyone, basically. And Alba said she's not free tomorrow because she's going to UCLA to meet a couple of people. One of which is going to be her first AD for her short film. So yeah, there's that. Which is very professional. I didn't even have a first AD in my freaking short film. I just gathered a bunch of people, I got a camera, and I just started filming. That's it. You know? Damn. But yeah, Alba left a little while later, and it was a really nice conversation, and she's really nice with me. And she's even like legit excited when I said like, "Oh, I can help you with short film." And she said, "Oh, you can be my gaffer." Wow, like she's really doing a whole production. Holy shit. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, so pretty much most of the stuff I want to ask Alba is already asked, already answered. Pretty great. She left. Pepper's not coming, so a little bit later, I and Thomas spoke to the Middle Eastern American girl because she went to this UCLA transfer workshop and knows a lot about the transfer process, the application. And apparently only 2 people. So yesterday I know from Betsy that 14 people from this college went to UCLA, but that's a lie apparently. Or apparently it's not true. So according to the Middle Eastern girl, American girl, 2 people from my college film program went into UCLA film program. So maybe when Betsy said 14, maybe she meant like in general, not just film, but like other majors as well. Which is probably not true because other majors are probably even easier to get into. Or maybe by 14 she means like overall, not in 1 year, like throughout history. I don't know. But for film, only 2 people last year. 2 people last year, 1 person 2 years ago, and 0 people 3 years ago. So that's extremely competitive. So I'm guessing only 1 or 2 person from the entire film program is going to be selected. And I hope it's me. But there's also a hint of sadness in there because if I do get in, then I'll never see Pepper again. Probably. Hopefully not. I don't know. But yeah, I and Thomas spoke with her and we realized, especially me, I realized that it's so much more complicated than I thought. And I really seriously need to do even more extensive research on the application process, especially for UCLA and USC. And my backup, which is CSUN. But yeah, the application is the most dangerous part and the most urgent part, I guess. And then there's a letter of recommendation problem. USC requires 3 letters of recommendation. I don't know who should be my 3rd one. I can ask 3 film professors, but the thing is, that's not versatile enough. Like, I want to ask someone, else outside of school to make it even more versatile. At around 7 p.m., I and Thomas decided to go up into the building and talk about what we want to do with the club. And we didn't almost argue, but we had some disagreements over how we're gonna do these meets. Do these meetups. Apparently we're gonna do it in person, but hybrid. So there will also be a Zoom. And we have 6 meetings left in this semester, which is a lot, honestly. But it's bi-weekly, aside from the last 2 weeks. And for every meeting, we're going to have a different topic. So Thomas wants to do it in a very essential way. So October 7th, we're going to talk character development. October 21st, we're going to talk about story structure, blah, 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 blah. Which is useful, but fucking boring, okay? That's the problem with Thomas. So I said, let's make it more specific. Like, let's do a horror week where we talk about horror tropes. Next week, we're going to talk about mysterious characters. Next week, we're going to talk about fantasy world building. Next week, we're going to talk about clever, witty, and funny dialogue. Like, be more specific. So at the end, we went downstairs and everybody's gone. And it's like 7:30. We saw Kat. And we asked Kat for her opinion. And she's very diplomatic about this. She's like, Enoch, your ideas are really fun. And I know that's really important. And Thomas, your ideas are useful and it's good for people. Maybe you two can incorporate your ideas with each other. So that's what we're planning. Betsy's also sort of like this. So Betsy obviously knows that the script writing club is disastrous so far. So far the club has been disastrous. But Betsy's like, good to know you two are, actually working hard for this. Good to know that I believe in you too. You can do it. So very encouraging words, and then that's pretty much it. So yeah, wow, damn, awesome. Interesting day. More conversations to be had. More conversations already had, and hope for the best for the future. Looking for internships. I told Alba again that I'm going to Japan this December, and Alba's not that interested to know where exactly. Pepper's interested to know, but Alba's not, I guess. But I did say I went to Osaka when I was really young. But Alba has never been to anywhere else in East Asia. And I guess Japan and the USA are probably the 2 only places she's been to. And to be fair, Japan is so freaking big, so... Oh yeah, if she goes traveling, she can just go to, I don't know, Tokyo or something, or south, Okinawa. That would be a travel. If you live in Japan, you probably don't need to exit the country in order to get somewhere interesting. But as a Hong Konger, we do that every time. But Alba did say that she's going to Mexico this December. Because the president of the ISF is Mexican and she invited Alba to come over. So she's going to Mexico City, which is very cool and interesting. Yeah, that's it. That gave me a little confidence because I shouldn't really be leaving in December, January, and February because it's a very critical time for applications. But the plane tickets are set. So there's that. And that's it for today. Nothing else. I went to Nijia Market, bought food, came back, and it was super late. And I'm gonna do some homework, edit a movie round of video, go to bed. That's it. Tomorrow, Thomas will pick me up. He found an actor last night to play the brother character. Yeah, so he doesn't really need my help, but I'll still help him anyways. I don't even know what to do to help. Sound again, I guess. But yeah, he'll pick me up at 2:30, which means that I'm going to have time for breakfast and lunch and all that stuff. That's great. Yeah, that's it for today. Interesting day. Good day. At first when Alba came, actually, I was like, I was really tired. I don't know why. I rubbed my eyes and stuff. And I'm like, I'm really tired. And Alba's like, are you tired? And I'm like, yeah. So yeah, that's really it. Very nice. All right. And if I have time later, I'll do some research on the uni app stuff. All right, time now is 11:23 a.m. in the morning on October 1st. We've made it to the 10th month. We've made it to 10th month. Woo! All right. So, yeah. Oh my God. My phone is running out of storage space. Like never before. There's acne on my face. I'm fucked. I planned to watch 2 episodes of Misang last night and do a bunch of anthropology homework and do some research on uni application and edit my short film. I didn't do any of that. I ran out of time. Again. Oh my God. I just don't have time at all to do anything. So I went to bed at 3:30. Which is also really freaking late. I should have gone to bed at 2:30 because tonight I'm gonna sleep earlier because tomorrow I have to wake up at like 6 or something because of Thomas's stupid short film. But yeah. 2:30 to 11:15. That's a good 7 hours of sleep. I guess that's a good 7 hours and 40 minutes of sleep. I have to admit it's good. I feel refreshed. But yeah, I definitely need more time. And I definitely need more storage space. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my phone. Last night something a little bit interesting happened. Alba DM'd me on Instagram. Before I even DM'd her, she DM'd me. Wow. And she basically asked me in a very polite way, "Hey Enoch, nice to meet you today. Do you want to," and it's all in one paragraph. Do you want to help me for my short film as a gaffer? Exactly the same time next Friday at 5:15 and the next Saturday for the whole day. And I would love to work with her, obviously. But then I told her, but for Friday I got the script writing club stuff. And then she said, oh. And I said I'm using the room 272 for script writing club, which is the official room. Like the club has officially rented that room. And then Alba was like, what? I thought I had I thought I was able to use room 272 for my short film at the same time because Kat told me that I have the approval. And I'm like, what? Does Thomas know? So now there's a bit of a weird situation. Who owns room 272 next Friday? So I'm gonna ask Thomas today. But that's a pretty interesting situation. And that's only found out because Alba spoke to me. But yeah. But I'm free next Saturday, and even if I have stuff to do, I'll give my Saturday away to work with Alba. If I can work with Thomas, I can work with anyone else, okay? Sheesh, why did I agree to working with Thomas? Another thing is I just don't have time to do anything, really. I vlog too much and I do too much YouTube. I need to really cut down on that. I'm not gonna plan like when to upload October. I'm gonna try to do that because I'm gonna put college and uni application and internships at the forefront of my priorities. Another thing is what's another thing? What was I gonna say? Fuck. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Sheesh. Oh my god. There's just so much stuff going on. I don't know what I was going to say. My stream of consciousness just stopped. My stream of thought just stopped. But yeah, oh, another thing is I'm glad I don't have a job right now. I'm glad I don't have the well, because if I have the well, it would make everything 100 times more difficult. So yeah, and on a side note, I'm still looking to buy a camera and looking to do a driver's test before I leave, before round 2 ends, you know. But yeah, September has been a pretty good month so far. The last 2 weeks of August was really uneventful, but September was a bit of a redemption. Like so much shit happened, so much interesting shit happened, so many more doors of opportunity happened. I got to speak with Alba, which is just insane on all levels, you know. And I'm also a little surprised to learn that Alba is a happy kind of girl. Not a happy, but she likes writing happy shit. And she likes big budget Hollywood stuff with a lot of CGI. That's what she told me. She said VFX. I haven't met a single dark person before in this college, which is saying something, you know? It appears I'm the only sad motherfucker here. Alright, so I'm all alone in the glorious University of USC. Thomas forgot to bring water, so he's telling me to go. It's a 14-minute walk to the car, and it's another 14-minute walk back. Fuck me. It's 4:52 p.m. Thomas told me to run all the way back to the car and add 2 more hours to the meter and then walk all the way back again. Another 30-minute walk. I'm doing a lot of aerobic exercises today. Another 30-minute walk. And he's also using my credit card to pay for the parking because he forgot to bring his. So that's great. Alright. Here I am. How do I do this? Plus time. Plus time. Okay. Plus time. Bruh. Do I need to put my card in? Cancel. Fuck, how do I do this? That's the where the LA football. All right, so time now is 9:27 p.m. Let's talk about today as quick as possible. I don't want to waste any more storage space. I don't want to waste time either. Fuck my acne. Yeah. So today's actually not as eventful as you would probably think it would be. It's just me, Thomas. There's a Latino guy that we met yesterday. He showed up to help Thomas today. He's just like, okay, sure, let me help, And then Lauren, the DP, and two actors, the main actor whom I've seen a couple times before, and a new guy whom I've never seen before, Chinese American dude. That's pretty much it. I went into not really Thomas's car, Thomas's roommate's car at around 2:20-ish. I didn't really have time to make myself lunch, so I ate the small sandwiches that I bought in Nijia Mart yesterday. I really don't have time to go to the supermarket, man. Tomorrow I'll go somewhere. On Monday I'll have to go to college. I'm so freaking busy, holy shit. But yeah, and then I quickly just left. Before I left, I ate some chips. That's it. So we went to USC, and we met Javier there, who's the Latino guy. I shouldn't have said his real name, should I? Oh well. And then we walked around to look for a good place to film this scene or refilm the scene. This is a reshoot, And we looked and looked and looked and looked, and there just weren't any good locations, and we got lost a couple times. And there's a huge football game going on, so there are tons of people wearing USC shirts and drinking beer, and there's barbecue and food truck. It's honestly the environment, the atmosphere of USC today was amazing. I've never seen USC so lively and fun before. It's so full of energy, and it's actually really great. Thomas was like, screw it. So we met up with the Latino guy, and we went back to the exact same spot we filmed the same scene a few weeks back. But this time I won't play the younger brother. In fact, we'll have the Chinese American actor who's going to play the older brother because he looks older. And I will not be the sound operator. The Latino guy will be the sound operator. I'm script supervisor. So basically I don't need to do anything, which is awesome because I'm tired as fuck. So today was actually really chill. I forgot to bring my sunglasses, but it wasn't really that hot. It was kind of cold at the end. And it was kind of laid back for me. Except for a couple of times Thomas ordered me to go all the way back from the filming location, which is right in front of the law school, all the way back to the car, which is 14 minutes, to grab water and then come back again, 14 minutes. And then at around 5 p.m., Thomas told me to go all the way back to the car again, and then all the way back to add 2 more hours to the speeding meter, which is something I've never done before in my life. Not even in Hong Kong, I've never done that. So yeah, this is my first time using speeding meter, and it's honestly not that confusing. Not a speeding meter, just a meter, parking meter, I don't know. And Thomas even used my own credit card. He was biting his nails, which is so disgusting. So I didn't want him to touch my credit card. So I did it myself. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's really tiring, but it's not that bad. I mean, it's not as bad as being the boom operator. You need to hold the thing the whole time. But it's also the Latino guy's first time on any set ever. you can tell he's a bit of an amateur when it comes to filmmaking. He's seen great movies before. I and him had a small discussion on like what movies to watch. I showed him my letterbox, of course, and he said, "Oh, Do the Right Thing. I watched that last night, and I really like it." And I asked him if he likes Parasite. He asked me for a movie recommendation after he saw that I watched a lot of movies. And then I asked him if he's seen Parasite, because Parasite is a movie that I can recommend to anyone. And he said he watched it, but he didn't like it as much. Maybe it's because the hype is too high, and that's probably true. But partially because I watched it before most other people watched it in the USA, so I didn't have any expectations going into the film, and I was completely blown away at the end. But yeah, yeah, um, yeah. And then I also recommended him a bunch of like One Cut of the Dead and Paprika. I asked him if he watches anime, and he's like, yeah. I recommended Your Name, and he said he watched half of it, but he was too sleepy. And I said it was really emotional, and he asked me if I cried, and I said yeah. And it's rare because movies don't make me cry usually. And then I recommended some favorite directors to him, David Lynch specifically. So yeah, that's that. I spoke to Lauren, the DP, about buying a camera, which is something that I've been interested in lately, being a nerd about, geeking out lately. All my life, not really all my life, but most of my life, I've been a nerd for movies, just watching movies, appreciating movies, but never. But it is only recently, in the last couple of years, when I started to also nerd out about the process of making the movie itself. You know, script writing and camera, lighting, colors, and lately editing and production design. But camera has never been like my thing because I never owned one and I don't really use one. So lately I've been really into researching about cameras and all that stuff. I spent a great deal of time today in the morning watching videos, YouTube videos, and then just then when I had dinner. Also, I'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, the shoot went by very quick, and it was very chill, and that's it. It's a wrap. And Lauren showed up. So apparently the shoot is supposed to start at 3:30, but both me and Thomas were late by like 15 minutes. And then we had to wait for the other actor who showed up at around 4 p.m. And then the main actor showed up at around 4:30, and then Lauren, the DP, showed up at around 5:20. So the shoot was literally delayed for 2 hours, which is hilarious. And then at the very end, a light automatically turned on because it was about to be sunset and it's getting dark. And so the whole shot is ruined and we just wrapped up. We just gave up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then Thomas drove me back home. That's it. And I immediately had dinner. I didn't even plan what to have for dinner, so I just immediately think of what to eat. I saw the beef cubes, so I cooked them all, and there are 10 cubes. I ate 5 cubes, and then the other 5 I put in a box. And then I ate 2 fried squid from yesterday, and then I had 300 milliliters of rice. I finished up the salsa chopped salad, and then I had finished the kimchi as well. Just whatever food I see, I'm gonna eat it. I have a real craving for beef noodles. Like, oh my god. Like at the USC campus today, there were several restaurants, or just one specifically, where it has Chinese food, and I just look at it and I'm like, damn, you know. And then sometimes my Chinese roommate would cook Chinese food, and even though it smells more Chinese than Hong Kong, like just the smoky, dense, humid, wet smell of spicy and sour, which is, yeah, you can also find that in Hong Kong, but it's less Hong Kong-ish, more Chinese flavored. But it's still sort of nostalgic to me, so I'm like, man, you know, I crave soup noodles. I crave soup. I crave many of these things. My mom is eating durian today and put it in WhatsApp, and I cheekily said in the family WhatsApp group, like, I haven't eaten that since 2021. And after that, my grandma saw that and immediately tried to order frozen durian, which is 27 fucking US dollars, and send it to me. And I thought that's totally unnecessary, but I do miss it. But you know, maybe my roommates will not enjoy it. And it's $27. But I'm like, okay, whatever. So my grandma ordered it on Wii, which is this Chinese/Hispanic food delivery service, and ordered a bunch of other stuff like frozen dim sum and whatever. And I'm like, okay, fine. And she ordered it, and before she put down the order, the durian, it's out. They ran out of durian. So that's that. That's pretty much it. I spoke to Kat a little bit on Discord about the whole Aoba situation, because next Friday Aoba wants to use room 272 at CMD for her short film, and she asked me to be the gaffer. She specifically asked me. I didn't even like. I mean, to be fair, I did, you know, say to her like, oh, it would be great if I end up in your short film, but like, she specifically asked me to be the gaffer. Man, but yeah. So Kat spoke with Alba, and they at the end decided that the shoot will be 3 p.m. So next Friday, I will go to the college campus, the CMD, at 3 p.m. to work with Alba, and then directly we'll have the scriptwriting club meeting. So that's gonna be fire, you know, fire experience is what's gonna happen. Fire. Yeah. Not much else. So again, I've been geeking out about cameras and stuff, and I've been thinking, what sort of cameras do I want? And at the end, I'm going with Sony A7 III. That's something that I've decided a while back already. It's the go-to camera. It's the everything camera. Everyone wants it because it's good. Everyone has it because it's good. Everyone knows about it because it's good. So I want to have it too. You know, it's a very versatile camera, and it's both photo and video friendly. Full frame as well, which is something that I really crave, because when Christian shot my last short film, it was on the Sony A6400, which has a crop factor of 1.5, which really wasn't my thing at all. I fucking hate crop factors. Okay, but here's when things get extremely tricky. The lens. A camera isn't complete without the lens, and the lens are often a lot more expensive. So I've been thinking, okay, lens. Of course, if I want to do vlogs, I want zoom lens, because I want to, you know, zoom in and out. You know, it's very versatile. So I was going for 16 to 50, and I want 16 to 50 because 16 is wide and it looks great. However, the thing is, 16 to 50 is very expensive, but also very rare. A full frame 60 to 50 is very rare and very expensive, and also very large and heavy. It's even larger than the camera body itself, and I'm not going to be holding that chunky metallic thing all around Japan. That's not going to happen, you know. So I need something lighter and cheaper, and that's when I had done all these research. Okay, so what sort of lens do I need? There's another lens that's 28 to 70, and another thing is I want zoom, and 50 isn't really a great zoom. 50 is normal lens. I want to zoom in on things. If I vlog with my phone, I can just like bloop, and then I just zoom in. But it's more complicated when you're using a camera. But then a little bit later, I found out that you can actually do this on a camera, but not like with the lens, like a digital synthesized zoom, which is not as great, but it still kind of works. But even so, 16 to 50, it's really rare. I found decently priced lens, 16 to 50, that's very short and light, which is great, until I found out that that decently priced lens has a crop factor. What the fuck? That's what I was trying to avoid. I want full frame, 100%. So I had to give myself a bit of a debate. Okay, should I buy a full frame lens, but something light but expensive, say 35 millimeter prime, which is normal prime, the most normal lens ever, or 16 or 18 millimeter, like a small zoom, like 16 to 24 or something, which is still going to be very expensive and heavy. Or do I get something light, 16 to 50, very versatile, very nice, great for vlogging, but not full frame. So I had to weigh my options, and now I think I will do the latter. I will buy a lens with crop factor. It's cheap, it's light, it's good. And I went online and searched, and apparently tons of people do this. Tons of people pair a full frame camera with a not full frame lens, with a crop factor lens, with a E lens, aka an APS-C lens, Advanced Photography System Type C. So that's what I'm going for then. E, which means there's a crop factor, 16 to 50 millimeters, PZ, which is power zoom, and OSS, which is very important. Optic something stabilizer, which is very important because my camera will get shaky. So, and it's called a kit lens because it usually comes with a kit. And usually people bash it, saying that it has poor camera quality, but it's got to be better than this, right? I hope it is. And again, with the crop factor, there's a way to maneuver around it. There is a mode in the camera, in the Sony A7 III, where I can like zoom in times 1.5, except I don't actually have to do that. I can like cheat a little bit and only zoom 12 millimeters in instead of all 1.5 times. So you'll see a little black around the frame, but it's still really great. Another thing I can cheat is whenever I turn my camera around and film myself, I can basically let the zoom alone and make it go back. So yeah, you'll see a black frame and it's just me and a circle, but at least I look wide. And then to consider, maybe I'm going to use this camera to make short films in the future, then I will consider buying a wide prime full frame. Not a normal prime, I will use a zoom lens. I will use this one for the normal, but I salivate for a wide prime. And that's it. So yeah, that's all. You know, if you have no idea what I just said, that's fine. You don't need to. All right, 3 things to talk about. Time now is 2:41 a.m. I'm gonna immediately go to bed right now. I'm gonna have to wake up at 6:30 tomorrow morning. Yeah, I had a 1-hour phone call with my mom. It went really long, but I basically talked about how I actually shouldn't have decided to go back to Hong Kong in January and February because I should have stayed in the USA because the whole transfer application thing is a very critical thing. It's a critical time. So my mom told me that she's gonna look into plane tickets to fly from Hong Kong back to LA in she asked me a date and I say mid-January. But honestly, I don't need to. Yeah, I mean, it would be better for me to be here physically, but I mean, I can fill in my application stuff remote. It's fine. It's a little tough, but it can work out. But yeah, the phone call goes over for 1 hour. I talked about buying cameras. I talked about wasting money, spending money. I talked about my film classes and my script writing club. talking about helping Thomas make a short film. I told my mom a lot of stuff. Of course, not everything, not all my personal shit. But I never do that. Back in secondary school, if shit happens to me, I never tell my parents at all, which is crazy. But yeah, I've pretty much decided on what camera and what lens do I want to buy. A little earlier today, I mentioned I wanted to buy the kit lens, but after some reconsideration, I realized that I asked my mom what's my budget, and my mom said 25,000 Hong Kong dollars, which is really fucking expensive. But what persuaded me to go with the full frame instead of the not full frame kit lens, which is APS-C with the crop factor, is that if I buy a kit lens, cheap, yes, and if I want to make another short film and I want to use my own camera, then I would need to buy a better lens, which means spending more money. Why not? I buy one lens now, and it's good enough for me to not only bring it to Japan for traveling, but also for short film. That would actually somehow save more money. And besides, if I buy a kit lens, of course the crop factor is going to be extremely annoying. 16 millimeter on a kit lens will be 24 millimeters when I look into the camera, and it's not ideal for vlogging. So you know what, I'm going to go with the FE, which is full frame, 16 to 35 millimeter lens, which is actually apparently very lightweight, and it's $1,200 US, and $1,200 US plus $2,000 for an original, not secondhand, first-hand Sony A7 III. Now that's good. That's just enough, just exactly enough for my mom's budget for my camera. Very freaking expensive, but I think it's just enough. If Pepper can buy 2 film cameras and 1 digital camera, albeit cheaper than mine, I can buy 1 digital camera. Please let me have 1 digital camera and 1 lens. And then maybe far into the future when I'm richer, I'll consider buying a zoom telephoto lens. It's fine if it's crop factor. Also fine if I get a prime wide. But I also checked for prime wides, also very freaking expensive. Alright, the next thing is way more concerning, and that is the actor for the North Korean officer for Thomas's short film Tomorrow suddenly decides to bail out. So he spoke to Thomas in text and asked Thomas for some examples of the DP's work. So Thomas sent him, the actor, a bunch of footage from this short film. And then in response, he said, "I'm sorry, this looked too different from how I thought it would be. I will have to let you know. I hope you find another actor in your casting list," which is a really vague and roundabout of saying I quit. I mean, I would understand why someone would want to quit from Tom's short film because it's shit, but quitting the night before is fucking insane. If I was the director right now, I would be stressed, I would be crying, and I would be going insane. And that's probably what Thomas is doing right now, going insane. So I have to play the character Tomorrow then, which is a very last-ditch resort because I don't like it. I don't look like it at all, and I don't want to act too. But that also saves me from being the boom operator. I guess the third thing is I ate 2 slices of mooncake and a banana, which is like 360 calories. And Cindy saw me eating a banana, like peeling the banana and putting it on my plate. And she said, "Oh, I've never seen you eating banana before. Is this the first time? Is it your first time?" And I'm like, "Yeah, first time since 9 months, And then I took the banana, I have 3 bananas left, and I took one from the peel, from the bundle, which is connecting all the bananas, but there's still a little bit left, a little fleshy part, So I tried to twist that off, and very carefully so, because if I aggressively yank that little fleshy part of that banana out of the hard bundle, which is turned black already, then I will also tear the other bananas open, which I don't want to because it'll attract flies. And then Cindy suddenly went over to the other side of the kitchen counter and then twist the thing for me. And I told her, don't do it too hard. It's gonna... And before I finished the sentence, she yanked it and she broke the fucking peel of another banana. And I was saying, oh, that's exactly what I wanted to avoid. And I don't know why Cindy's in a really jolly mood today. She's like, oh, let me help you. Oh, did I just do what you were trying to avoid? Oh, sorry, Enoch. So yeah, it just goes to show that whenever I do something, I do it with care and I overthink everything, which makes me very stressful. But this is exactly why I work really well in certain scenarios, because I think ahead. I'm carefully twisting the banana flesh from the bundle because I know that it'll have side effects, instead of just aggressively yanking it without thinking much. I think ahead. I overthink and I think ahead. But yeah, I also zelled Cindy $21 for the sponge and the paper towel. And Cindy's like, oh, it's fine if you eat that banana tomorrow. The thing is, I won't. I fucking hate bananas. So let's hope no flies would, be attracted to it. And I want Cindy to take out the trash this time, because I'm not fucking taking out the trash again. I'm running out of bags. In fact, I low-key hope that Thomas cancels the shoot tomorrow, because I want to sleep, and I also want to go to Ralph's, because I'm running out of food. My week has been too eventful lately. I'm happy I got to, get close with Alba, though. Alba and Pepper. Both of them are in very great conditions with me. But both of these people are also really, normal. I wouldn't say normal, because I don't, especially for Alba, I don't know her that well, but, yeah. I'm still an edgelord. Alright, time now is 6:47. I'm just gonna stand here. Time now is 6:47 a.m. in the morning on October 2nd. Oh my god, fuck. So I'm so tired. I slept at 3:20. I wish I could have slept earlier, but I didn't. I watched a whole episode of Misang. That's that. Yeah, 3:20 a.m. till 6:40 a.m. This is even fucking worse than going to church. I had to wake up. If I had gone to church today, I'll wake up at 7. More like wake up at 8. Yeah. But now it's 3 hours of sleep. And today we're going hiking. Yeah. I even said I'm going to buy a bottle of Pocari Sweat for today. I forgot to do that when I went to Nijia Market a couple days ago. Or was that yesterday? No, it was a couple days ago. But yeah. Apparently Thomas himself will play the character of the North Korean official. Which is fantastic, because right now there are 0 Korean people in this production. This short film, is about a North Korean escaping to South Korea. And they originally are supposed to be all Korean cast, and now there isn't a single Korean person acting, and not even in the crew. So they're all sorts of Asians, just not Koreans. in the crew, there's a Hong Konger. This is directed by a Chinese guy. There's a Vietnamese girl. There's a Japanese girl in there somewhere. Like just everything but Korean, you know. So, you know, it's really, really fantastic. But yeah, I'm already zoning out because I'm so tired. I'm gonna eat the coffee bread and not even hungry, so I'm just gonna bring it. But yeah. Alright. It's 8:07 a.m. Eating my caffeine bread. Staying with Thomas's car, more like Thomas's roommate's car, to make sure nobody comes here and, you know, do something. This is gonna be a disastrous shoot.
That's my role. Shoot abuser.
Sound speeding? You guys are gonna have to go up there.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Very good day. Your father would be proud of you for shooting it. You're happy and proud of him because you think that he shot him and you think he's gonna join you into your journey.
It's 2:04 p.m. under the blistering sun. All right, time now is 7:47 p.m. Whew, what a tiring day. What a day. So let's talk about what happened today. Today is a lot more eventful than yesterday. I'm not gonna talk too much, but yeah, it is quite eventful. So yeah, I woke up at 6:30 and I don't think I've ever woken up this early before in LA. Did I wake up this early for my cloud busting shoot? Maybe. I forgot. But yeah, it's really early. Only 3 hours of 20 minutes of sleep. Thomas only slept for 3 hours. I hopped into the car very early in the morning at 7:10 a.m. He picked me up, 7:10-ish, and then we drove all the way to somewhere in Culver City to pick up the Latino guy whom I also saw yesterday, also on Friday. And then I ate my coffee bread. I honestly wasn't even like that into the bread. It was just like ugh, you know. And then we arrived at the filming location, which is in the Pacific Palisades, which I've been to twice already at this point. And I'm sure Thomas had been there like 3-4 times already. But yeah, we went there, and yeah, Lauren apparently had already arrived earlier than us. Lauren, the DP. I'm just gonna call him Lauren, the DP, from here on out. He's always the DP. And then we were just waiting there. So at around, I guess, 8 a.m. we already arrived, or 7:30 we already arrived at the place, and it was really cold. The sun didn't really come out until 10 a.m. and I was just standing around. There's this whole, so obviously, okay, so this is the last day of the shoot for Thomas's short film, and it's the most important scene. It's the South Korean, North Korean border, and you know, it's just the most important one. It's the biggest scene, you know, and we're supposed to start filming at 8:30 and all the way till noon, and then that's it, you know. But We actually didn't start filming until around 10:30 because we had to wait for the main actor who overslept and couldn't come until like 9:40. And then there's this whole conundrum with, okay, we're gonna drive one car all the way to the mountain and then have that someone and bring out all the stuff we need, all the audio equipment and camera gear and all the props and all the food and snacks and all that stuff, and then someone will drive that car back down and hike back up. And who's gonna hike, who's gonna walk, like there's this whole conundrum. And there's a whole conundrum of okay, I'm gonna stand beside the car and wait. So that's what I did at first for about 20 minutes. I just stood beside the car and listened to music, and then the Latino guy did that for like 40 minutes. And then the half Japanese, half Korean girl showed up. So I always call her the Vietnamese American girl. She's not Vietnamese, obviously. She's half Korean, half Japanese. She showed up, but she's completely American. Like, she born and raised in the USA, second generation completely. And then here she is, and she brought a hairspray because she has dyed hair like strands of red, so she needs to make it black. And then there's the whole gun conundrum where for about 30 minutes, Thomas and Lauren were just trying to figure out how to remove or cover up the orange tip of a BB gun, which is going to be a prop. If I was Thomas, I would just be like, you know what, fuck it. This short film is already shit. It's already disaster. So if we use a BB gun and it looks cringe, I don't care anymore. Just make the scene. Just film it. But both fortunately and unfortunately, Lauren is with Thomas, so Lauren would be like, okay, that orange tip needs to go. And when I made my first short film, I didn't have someone like that. So at least today we have someone experienced like Lauren. A little bit later, when the main actor shoots the gun, and the other person, and Thomas also played one of the characters today because the Korean guy, he dropped out last night at 1 a.m. And they need to do a recoil. But only Lauren knows about the recoil, and I sort of know it too. But Lauren just knows a lot of these small details, and he makes sure with what we have, with the ability and the skill that we have, we try our very freaking best to recreate the scene or to, make the scene, So the little props, the little movements, he truly tried his best, even though the dialogues are shit. Obviously, these mountains are not North Korean mountains, but we try our best, So at least we have someone like Lauren, who's knowledgeable and experienced, and probably saved Thomas from turning this short film into an absolute dumpster fire hell. So yeah, that's it. But it was really close. So yeah, there's a whole gun thing, there's a whole shoe thing. Thomas got the military uniform, the North Korean military uniform, from a Halloween costume shop, and it's made in China or something, so it like broke by the end of the shoot. The pants, the military pants, it literally tear apart. They were torn apart, and the guns were probably also made in China because both of them also freaking broke. And then there's the shoes, which are very shiny, so we spent like 20-30 minutes trying to scuff up the shoes by rubbing it against the concrete, asphalt, pavement, whatever. So there's all that conundrum. But yeah, finally, Thomas and the Latino guy decided to drive all the way to Target, to a nearby Target, to buy another hairspray, and some duct tape. So again, more expense, more money spent on the props. And then they came back, and then we started to shoot. So by then it was already like 10:30. Because when we went up there, it was like, okay, we need to find a spot to shoot. Like, it wasn't really rehearsed before. So again, very, very terrible quality. But I don't blame Thomas. Like, my first short film was just as bad. So I don't blame him, you know. When Thomas and the Latino guy left, me, Lauren, and the Korean Japanese girl, we sat down in her car, just us three, and just chatted about film classes in our college and about this short film. And Lauren even said, you know, if I could, if I could go back in time, if I could, I should have said no. Like, I shouldn't have agreed to do this project because it's very mid. He said it's very mid. And the Korean Japanese girl was like, yeah, throughout the day, because this is the only day out of the 4 days where the Korean Japanese girl is helping us. And I was waiting for the Korean Japanese girl to realize, oh, this is shit. Because she probably had a lot of expectations, or at least a little bit of expectation, coming from the president of Script Writing Club. But obviously, this is one of the worst short films I've ever worked on. But probably not the absolute worst. My first short film is way worse, honestly. Let's be honest here. But yeah, I also tried my best to help Thomas. So yeah, we went all the way up the mountains. All the people are here now, and we begin shooting. And we walked up the mountains, and the sun started to come out, and it was starting to get really hot and tiring. And there are 2 occasions when Thomas ordered me to walk all the way back down to go to his car, grab some stuff, and then walk all the way back up. Twice, just like yesterday, twice. So again, yesterday I walked for a whole hour just for Thomas. A 14-minute walk to, 14-minute back, and then 14 again. And today it's less time, but just as rigorous of a walk because I need to hike back up twice. Yeah, first time to get water, second time to get more water, and also first time I had to take a fake blood, and then second time I had to bring Thomas's pants and his shoes, except he never actually wore them back until we went all the way back down. But yeah, I was the boom operator for a little while, but mostly it's the Latino guy. I mostly just chilled at the side, but it was still really tiring. And yeah, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it is. It's just very dusty and sandy and smoky. Like I sat on the ground and my shoes are fucked, and yeah, and then at some point the Korean Japanese girl had to play dead, and she laid on the ground for like 40 minutes for three shots. She had to lay on the ground for like 40 minutes. And every time, there are so many pedestrians passing by, probably because today's a Sunday, and people are like, yeah, Sunday, let's go hiking. And every time someone passes by, we're like, acting, she's alive. Which is hilarious, honestly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then at around 2:30, it's a wrap. At 2:20 p.m., it's a wrap. And, if Thomas just tell us to go back home right now, it would be kind of selfish because we truly did suffer a lot today. My nose sunburned. My neck is sunburned. I don't know if you can. My neck is sunburned. My arms are kind of burnt as well, which I don't mind. I think it's time for me to get a good tan. I don't want to be super tanned, but I also don't want to look white like a snowman because I'm not white. But yeah, honestly, like, throughout the day another realization is that, like, none of the people here in this shoot are international students, like, only me, but yet I'm communicating with them with perfect English. Like, I'm such a master, But yeah, at the end, Thomas was like, you know what, where do you guys want to eat? I'll pay you guys. So at the end, we decided to go to Chipotle, which is near Lauren's apartment. So we went to Chipotle, and I sat in Lauren's car, really powerful sports car, a Nissan 350Z or something, or Z350. I forgot the model of the car, but it's like super powerful. It speeds up really fast. It's crazy. I held onto his black magic while sitting at shotgun, and we talked about lenses and cameras a little bit. He told me to buy a Panasonic lens and a Panasonic camera, I guess. And then we went to Chipotle, and he advised me to get a burrito. So I got a burrito with brown rice, beans, steak, and also I got a small soda, which is not small at all. And I didn't finish it because at that point I wasn't really that hungry. I ate a lot of snacks on the set, the fruit gummies and the chocolate covered granola bar. So I wasn't really that hungry, so I have the burrito now. I'm just gonna microwave it later and just eat it as part of dinner. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then afterwards, Thomas and the Latino guy accompany me. Thomas drives me back home. He drives the Latino back home, and then he drives me back home, and then that's it. Honestly, and I said some really encouraging words to Thomas, which surprised him, because usually I'm really negative and pessimistic, which I like being, by the way. Like, I enjoy being pessimistic sometimes, because it really, like, reinforces my character. But, yeah, you know, I said to Thomas, you know what, this is the last day of the shoot, we should celebrate, you should feel relieved, you did a great job, like, it's a miracle. And Thomas like, wow, you're actually encouraging. But, yeah. Also, during the Chipotle, like, the Korean-Japanese girl was just, like, showing off the movie posters she's made, like short film posters, and the short film she's made and she's acted in. And I also showed off a bit of mine, and they were all like, oh, it's, that's pretty good. But, yeah. Also, in the middle of the shoot today, Aoba, the Japanese girl, she DM'd me on Instagram telling me to join a Discord server for her short film. She made a Discord server just for her short film, and she had 2 producers and a first AC and everything. Like, holy shit, she's so professional. She's so fucking professional. And even for Thomas, even though this short film probably has gone to shit, but Thomas has a lot better, like, equipment than me. Like, Thomas had a whole ass DP who has a Blackmagic camera with multiple lenses. He has a multi-day shoot, 4 different locations, tons of actors. Like, if I had the same access, like, Thomas had a fucking boom mic. If only I had that for my cloud busting short film. You know, this, in contrast with my short film, my last 2 short films, in fact, my last 3, my last 3 short films were so much more simple. Just 1-day shoots, just easy peasy, tight crew, especially my last 2. Just 5 people, boom, done. 5 people, 1 location, 6 hours, boom, done. Like I was so quick and snappy. But, yeah, that's that. But, yeah, wow. I'm so happy Aoba, like, picked me as the gaffer. I don't know why she specifically saw me and was like, gaffer. But, you know, that's epic. And I told, like, Aoba, like, wow, you're so professional. And she's like, yeah, I know, but it's also really stressful. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. And then Aoba sent me like a 3-line emoji, like your eyes is just a straight line and your mouth is a straight line. It's really interesting to me how different cultures use different emojis. I don't know if this is a Japanese way of using this emoji or not, because in Hong Kong, okay, so Americans, Europeans, they never use this emoji, the 3 straight line emoji, but in Hong Kong, this emoji is like, fuck you, you know, like sort of a eye rolling type of emoji. Maybe in Japanese culture, this is more like a tai hen sort of emoji, you know, like stressful. So I don't know, it's interesting. But yeah, I also looked at the other people in that Discord group that Aoba made, and it has the Chinese girl that I met on Thursday, another Chinese woman that I've seen on Zoom, There is two other Japanese dudes, one of which is on the other Film 32 class on the Friday one, which I am absolutely down to meet. Because there's a short film project I'm also sort of planning on, which requires a lot of Japanese knowledge because it's going to be based on a manga. So I definitely need that. Yeah, Theo, of course, he's in it. Of course, he's in everything. Yeah, apparently the college Instagram follows the Korean Japanese girl, but that's only because Theo somehow took control of the official Instagram page of the entire fucking college just to follow her, which is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, that's that. You know, I should follow Pepper as Screenwriting Club. I have access to the friggin' Instagram. You know, I could do this too. But yeah, I came back home, took a shower, and then I just slept. But I couldn't fall asleep because even though I only slept for 3 hours today, I'm not that tired, honestly. I'm not that sleepy. I'm tired but not that sleepy. But I still want to just lay on my bed and just whatever, you know? So that's what I did. I just laid on my bed until 7, and then here I am. So I'm just gonna wrap it up today, really. I'm gonna go make myself dinner. It's gonna be some fried squid, some potatoes that are not turned green. I'm gonna finish up the cabbage salad, and then I'll finish up the burrito. That's my dinner. It's not enough calories, that's true. Should I finish the steak instead? But the thing is, the burrito already has steak in it. And I don't want to eat the salmon either because that's a lot of calories and it's a waste. I would rather eat that tomorrow. And I'll also go to Ralph's tomorrow. So obviously I have no energy to like walk and carry groceries, you know. But I'm going to do that tomorrow. Right after my biology class. And then of course I got the biology homework and the anthropology homework later. Whew, my god. And then I want to edit my short film again. And I also want to continue doing the uni application preparation. But yeah, I'm just honestly I'm most hyped right now. I'm most hyped about getting my own camera and getting my own lens. I'm just nerding out on this, and I think I've settled it. Even though Lauren told me to get a Panasonic, I've already settled on 16 to 35 millimeter. Like, it's zoom, it's versatile, it has a nice wide, it's light enough, it's not that it's expensive, but it could have been way worse. 16 to 35 f2.8 is $2,200. 16 to 35 f4 is $1,200. Nearly double. Just because now it works shit in low light situations, f4. So if when I'm in Japan and it's really dark, then I'm probably gonna just use my own phone instead. Or I'm gonna do some weird shit like upping the ISO or, you know, lower slowing down the shutter speed. Something like that, which is not a very great thing to do. Because chunking express moment, you know. But but yeah, I just want a camera. That's just the best option I have right now. 16 to 35 full frame, OSS, power zoom, f4. That's the best thing. The only two issues is that I can't zoom in super a lot. And in low light, it's gonna be fucked. Like if the scene is dark, I'm not gonna see anything. So maybe I'll buy vintage lens, like vintage wide prime. Maybe that's super freaking cheap. That would be awesome. If it also works in low light situations. And I'm also thinking about making another short film. Short film number 6. You know, if you go into chronology of my official short films, not counting the stupid videos I've made. Hard Like Soldier in 2017, Information Blackout in 2018, Dreams of an Empty Street in 2021, Cloud Busting in 2022, and My Bloody Valentine in 2022. That's 5. and I'm looking at 6 right now. But let me edit my shorts first, and then we'll continue this conversation. Yeah. Side note, earlier this morning, Zara spoke to me. Zara, we spoke about jobs, and then Zara told me maybe I should be a YouTuber, and I told her I already am. Even though Zara already knows, but I guess she thought she doesn't know the channel name, so I told her my channel name because I don't really care anymore. I just thought to myself, like, a lot of people are, full of surprises. So if Zara sees me, and I have like 1,100 subs with a lot of my faces on my thumbnails, uploading every day, like, yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a shock, but who cares? Everyone's surprising, Everyone's full of surprises. So I just told her, and she's like, wow, that's great. And then she told me to comment on her RPG game because she made an RPG game or something. Alright, time now is 9:58 p.m. Just finished dinner. I feel really full. The dinner is the leftover burrito. I finished up all the potato, finished up all the cabbage salad. I finished up all the fried squid, karage. I only cooked the potatoes. But yeah, it was filling actually. It didn't feel like a lot, but I am full right now, so there's that. Man, my face is freaking burnt. Maybe that's what I need to stop the acne. Just intense sunlight. Maybe that'll do the trick. Honestly, like, as far as vlogging goes, I should just do this. This is good vlogging. This is actually good. Just use my own phone. Screw it. But yeah, I'm already dead set on the Sony 16 to 35 millimeters. I'm gonna ask Pepper later what sort of camera and lens does she want, just for a nice chat. I don't want to talk to Pepper every time I have an emergency or I have something to ask her. I want to talk to Pepper whenever I like it. The same way I could talk to Natalie whenever I like it, even though now I don't. It's been like nearly 2 months since I've spoken to Natalie, or 1.5 months, I think. I don't know. Yeah, since mid-August, I guess. Natalie did say happy birthday to me. That's true. But yeah, I want to speak to Pepper whenever I want, honestly. Like, I want us to be like legit friends and not just talking to each other just because we need each other. Sometimes I don't need her. I'm still going to talk to her because friendship, Isn't that what friends do? I don't know. Actually, I'd like to say a couple of things. And I completely forgot what to say. Shit. I'll do some homework later. I'll do some uni app research. I'll watch Zodiac, the rewatch. And then, I'm all good, really. What was I gonna say? Fuck, I forgot. I actually forgot. Ralph's tomorrow, I said that already. Camera, I said that already. Oh, I guess, yeah. Aoba asked me for help, so I looked at the Discord for Aoba's short film, and Miles joined. Miles? How did he end up in here? But I know the guy, so again, in the Discord, like, half the people in that server are people that I already know. Separately, peace mentally, I know Miles, I know the Chinese girl, I know Aoba, I know Kat. I've seen the Chinese girl, she doesn't know me. I know Betsy, I know Theo. There are like 4 Japanese people here, including Aoba. Which means, and also a Korean person, I think. Which basically freaking means, okay, so 2 Chinese girls, 4 Japanese people, including 2 Japanese girls, 2 Japanese boys, a Korean person, I don't know boy or girl, I can't tell by the name, me, and Pepper may join as well. I'm gonna tell her about this. I have frickin' entered the EAS. That's it. I've entered it. I'm not only am I like enter the web, but I'm literally in the freaking core. At least the film EAS, you know, the East Asian team of like filmmakers. I've done it. I've done it. I've done it, guys. I've done it. You know how in like March or in April I was like, oh, EAS. Boom! October 1st, I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. I'm insane. I am actually insane. And Aoba didn't even ask Thomas for help. She asked me. And I think partially it's because like I'm legit East Asian. And I feel like she has like, of course, Kat and Betsy, I guess, those are important big personnel in my college film program. But mostly Aoba is looking for international students that are East Asian. So that's a thing. But also, yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah, I'll speak to Pepper a little later about the camera stuff. Oh boy. My mom just sent me a new plane ticket. The camera stuff, the Aoba stuff, and I'll talk to her about CSUN application because apparently the deadline is October 16th or something. I don't even know. One more thing is, I forgot again. I've done it, I entered the EAS. Right, so I don't know, how does Aoba justify doing this? Like, is she making a short film? Like, how is she going to justify this? Whenever I make a short film, I find a way to justify this. Oh, it's for a school project. It's for, you know, applying to some place. So that people will know, okay, I'm seriously doing it. I'm not doing it because I want to, you know. Especially when I'm an amateur, I always need a justification. Now, this is a justification. This is justified because Aoba wants to apply to USC with this short film. But this is such a huge scale. Like, there are already 16 people in this Discord group. And, you know, yeah. So, I don't know, I kind of want to do this. This makes me want to do this, actually. Like, maybe in the next semester, except I also got Film 33 next semester, so I don't know. But this makes me want to do this. Next semester, probably. I'll also email the Indian professor for internship, because according to the Korean-Japanese girl, the Indian professor in our film is a lot better at replying emails. And that's it. Alright, I finally remember what I was going to say. It's just insane how eventful this week has been. I can't believe that Wednesday, when I was key grip for Erin Brockovich, was 4 fucking days ago. Wow. Wow.